With Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane studio.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB. Always want to remind you about our friends over at Rouse's. Go to rouses.com today. A great time to go to Rouse's right now. I mean, you got the breakfast bar going on. A little bit later on, sushi bar, salad bar. Got rotisserie chickens, pre-made meals already ready to go. You know they're going to have a lot of local flavor, too, at your local Rouse's. That's why you go to the website to find which convenient location you're going to have those weekly specials at. You also can get hydrated by picking up My High because they don't forget to bring it to you. That's only Flynn. Go to rouses.com today. Dr. Stephen Etheredge joins us, as he does every single Wednesday at 8 a.m. here in studio. Doc, how we doing? How we living?
Doing great. Doing great.
How's the summertime?
It's good. It's good. Y'all commented. I got here early. I cruised right in. The traffic was awesome. You know, there was no school traffic. It was a pleasant drive.
Do we have any vacations, any trips planned?
So we're hoping to make it to the beach.
That didn't sound. That did not sound like a lot of confidence.
Well, we go over to Port St. Joe, which is a little bit past Panama City every year for the 4th. But with medical conditions at home, we'll see. We don't want to push it.
Yes.
So,
is that
I guess you kind of grew up at the beach, so you're like, oh, okay.
Port St. Joe? Is that Mexico Beach?
Just past Mexico Beach.
Okay.
Yep. Same little area. So they call it the Forgotten Coast. So it's a neat little area. The beaches aren't quite what you get in Destin and 30A and Panama, but it's a little quieter. It's a little quieter. So, which I enjoy.
So it ain't quiet over there.
No, it is not.
There's a pier in Panama City Beach that for some reason, Doc, nobody goes to. It's public. There's this little space. It's probably, 600 yards. I mean, it's like this big space that nobody goes to. And my father-in-law, I'm going to make up a number because he'd be like, don't tell him my pier number. So 38, right? Well, say it's pier 33. So he's always like, we're going to go to 33A today. Nice. That's his joke. And there's nobody ever there. And like they found this nice little piece and they live like 2 blocks from it.
That's good. See, I'm hoping that we're not ruining it for him or for I like to go because I don't want everybody else to discover it. So
y'all don't go.
Don't go there. It's terrible.
It's awful.
Go to
it's the worst place. It's the worst place on earth.
It's bad.
Do not go there. All right. So when we have Doc on, we talk about all kinds of injuries and ACLs and ankles and shoulders and different things. I did want to ask you, Doc, about. So Alden Smith, unfortunately, passed away, and Alden was only 36 years old. I played against Alden. He was an absolute brick wall. I didn't know who – he was a first-round pick, but I wasn't familiar with his game because there was other guys on their defense that we played, and by the end of it, I was like, I know exactly who that guy is. I hit him, and it was like a cartoon, when like you hit something that's like a feather, and you just kind of like go down to the ground.
Monster versus us.
That was me hitting Alden Smith on a power. So he was a great player, had some trials and tribulations, and – unfortunately, like I said, they found him unresponsive in his car earlier this week in the Bay Area. But his family said that they're going to have his brain checked for CTE. And so actually, something we've talked about before. So for our listeners and for me too, to be honest with you, what does that mean? What are they looking for? Like what does a study like that, like what can it do maybe to even help as well? Like once you do study the brain.
It's a good question, and you see these things a lot. There we go.
Thank you.
And we see it a lot just in regular medicine. Every day I deal with this. At least, my opinion on a lot of the rationale here is that we all want the why. Everybody wants a why, and especially a tragic death, a young, healthy guy, a guy that should still be alive. He's 36.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't think they've officially given a cause of death or anything yet. No matter what it is, it's tragic. It's awful. It's horrible. And so we all want the why. So I think that's the first place we all start is, and I see it all the time in my office. People come in, my neck hurts. It's probably because of that car accident I was in. Like, when was the car accident? Well, it was 30 years ago. your neck only started hurting yesterday, it's probably not the car accident, you know.
Right.
But we want to have some way to connect the dots. So I'm sure his family's just struggling right now. They want to have connections. They want to know.
Right.
It's a big topic, the CTE topic. It's one it's probably a little bit controversial. You know, it's a real thing. It's not. I don't mean to downplay that.
Right.
But the problem with CTE is you can only diagnose it currently with the biopsy, and so nobody's biopsying the brain when you're alive.
Right.
So it's not something we can definitively diagnose. We can say we think you have it. We can say look at the symptoms, look at the career, look at the background. But, you know, what do you even make with that data? And I think that's the problem. We don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of my question. Like, okay, if you do find that he did have CTE, like, what do you do?
Right.
Yeah. And then what's the next step? Because, like, for you, you're a doctor. Like, if you find something, you want a solution. You want a next step. And so for like this, it's like, yeah, he had it. Okay, well, what's that mean? Like, what can we do? Can we do?
And I think it's a very, again, that's where the controversy comes in, because how many of these guys that, if you look, you know, they've now done, you know, the biopsies of the brains, they've done all these different treatments, they've done all these different things, they've looked at it, they've researched it, but then you go back and look at a lot of these guys' lives, the ones when they passed away, and their cause of death, you know, seemingly had nothing to do with CTE, seemingly had nothing to do with any symptoms prior to that. They didn't really present with a storyline that really, you know, and then, you know, I think of guys like, you know, you had Al Gifford, who died from colon cancer, had CTE, according to his biopsy. This is a guy who was in the public light up until his 80s. I mean, this was a guy who was broadcasting and doing stuff. And you know, did he really, and I'm not calling out anyone individually, but he was a guy that lived a very public life after football.
Yeah.
I have a hard time thinking CTE contributed to really any of his morbidity or mortality there. But on the other hand, his brain said he had it. So what are we going to do with all this data? And then there's other guys where it is more compelling. You're like, oh yeah, he had signs of dementia at an early age. He had all these other things. So it's tough.
So when they do the biopsy and they find CTE or find that you had CTE, what does that mean? Are they finding like a damaged spot, like physically visible damaged spot in the brain? Is it hardened? Is it soft? Like, what is it that, like, if I'm looking at a brain, like, what is it? How do they say, yep, you had it?
So a lot of the neurologic conditions, things like Alzheimer's disease and things like that, sometimes you can't fully diagnose it, but what you're looking for is like a specific pattern of these different types of plaques, almost like scarring on the brain. Now, it's not always quite that simple. It's not to say, oh yeah, he got hit there because of, you know, that one concussion he had, and there's a scar on his brain from that. But it's more, you know, you look at the brain and you see these changes in the brain where you know, the best way I can describe is it looks like scar tissue in the brain. It's not exactly that simple, but you're looking for, and with CTE, there is a very specific pattern. It's not the same pattern you would see with Alzheimer's. It's not the same, you know, differences you would see with like a Lewy body dementia or vascular dementia or all these other types of dementia and neurodegenerative diseases. So it is a unique pattern. It is something that seems to definitely have a correlation with contact activities, contact sports, head trauma. But on the other hand, like I said, how many of these guys, you know, even the ones that deal with mental health, if you look at the percentage of guys that played in the NFL that had mental health issues, it's really not that different than the regular male population. Even these horrible cases we hear about suicide, look, for men, you know, kind of middle age is one of the highest percentages you see of suicide and mental health issues. So again, you know, it's a lot of people wanted to draw that conclusion that, oh, he had CTE, he was depressed, clearly the same. Well, I don't think it's that simple personally. That's, you know, other people would disagree with me medically. And I'm not saying that it might not be related. I think there is some relationship, but it's not as simple as he had changes on his brain, he had depression, it's because of that, or he had drug abuse, or he had this, or he had that, whatever the scenario is, you know, because a lot of these guys, you go back and look at their history. And I mean, you know, the one that, you know, they've made a show about all the Aaron Hernandez stuff. If he had a troubled life when he was younger, I have a hard time saying, oh yeah, I can't blame what he did on his CTE. I think that's extremely reckless.
Now, this might be kind of like an ignorant question, but like, it seems pretty like when you get a concussion, they say it's a brain bruise, right? So you're getting maybe some sort of damage, inflammation on a part of your brain, and you would think that's where you got hit. Some people live a completely, you know, some people that had 12 concussions, you never see any signs of anything. Some people that might have one or two do show signs of some sort of mental deterioration or something later in life. Could it be like location of where the concussion, the brain, let's say air quote, like brain bruise was, and then the location on the brain where the CT scarring might be?
Absolutely. You know, and even the type of symptoms you'll see. You know, interesting thing with concussions is if you talk to 10 guys who had a concussion, they're probably going to give you a slightly different version of what they felt. It's not all like, oh, I had a headache and blurred vision. I've seen people where they're extremely emotional after a concussion. We had a high school kid who couldn't stop crying at halftime. He couldn't tell us why he was crying. He wasn't hurting. It wasn't like, it was just, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm not hurting. I'm not upset. I can't stop crying.
Yeah, I've seen that before too.
And so it depends on the location of the brain. And so depends on the severity of the injury. Obviously, how severe of a head injury. If somebody had a really bad car accident or they had a massive head injury that developed a serious concussion, they're more likely to have some issues. But then I think genetics is a huge part of it too. With anything medical, I tell my patients all the time, like, look, whatever your medical situation is, you look at it like it's a recipe, and in that bowl, I'm going to throw your genetics in. And if we're making bread, that's the flour. The genetics is the flour. It's the main ingredient. Because again, that's why you talk to 10 guys that have the same same life experiences, but they look very different. They present very different. They have different things. So the rest of the stuff that goes in that bowl is going to be your life experiences. How old are you? What kind of injuries have you had? What medicines are you on? All those things affect everything. So, and I think that's a big part of it too. Just some people are going to be more susceptible to having more complications after those injuries. And unfortunately, right now, we don't really know how to determine that or what to do about it. And I guess that's where, kind of going back to our initial question, as we understand more of the brain, I don't know that this is going to give us a cause of his death. I don't know, but it's going to be helpful. Every bit of information we get, if used appropriately, can really help us to find answers.
This might be an impossible one to answer too, but I'm just sitting here and we appreciate you talking about this because I know some of this stuff's not easy. But like if you have a tear, you always like it's a grade 1, grade 2, grade, something like that, and there's like levels to everything. Like I've had a concussion where I played in a game in the second half, don't remember a single snap about it, and just don't remember it. I remember the moment like right before it happened, don't remember anything. So like there's that version where you can still go out there, and I guess it's muscle memory, I don't know. But then you have the one where it's Tua Tagovailoa, and I mean he like seizes up, and it's like it's really, really scary. So both of those are concussions, but they have different outcomes and how your body reacts to it. Is there different levels to concussions? Is there like more severe concussions, or is there like how is that the same injury?
So there's definitely different severity, and early on with concussions, we really tried to assign them levels. Like this is a level 1, kind of the same thing.
Okay.
But I think the thing we discovered is it's hard to do that, especially early on. You kind of almost like we're talking about the biopsies of the brain. You almost can't diagnose how severe a concussion was until after it's over, because one that doesn't seem that bad in the beginning, and then they continue to have horrible symptoms. And then I've seen guys that one of my favorite ones, we had a football player at LSU who had a concussion. And it was not even a football related. He slipped and fell, hit his head in the shower.
Yeah, I remember
and I asked him. He comes in the locker or the training room right after it happened. Like, hey, can't answer my question, but just tell me your name. He looks me square in the eyes like Lucius Brown, which was not his name.
Yeah,
no part of his name. Dead serious. He believed that was his name. And then, but by the next day, that guy looked a whole lot better. Now he was still concussed. We still held him out. We still did the protocol. But I thought the next day he was going to look terrible. And I mean, the next day his symptoms were very minimal. And then I've had other guys that, it seems mild, and a month later they're still really struggling. So we've kind of gotten away from really grading them because of that. There are still some scales out there. Most of us don't really utilize them. I'll say it was maybe mild, moderate, severe. It's kind of what I do in the back end. But it's just so hard to grade them until they're done.
Yeah.
Helmet technology has improved so much, right? Is there a ceiling to how good it can get? Like you have the best helmets you've ever had, the technology with the padding, how it fits, how it forms, the impact resistance, all that. Is there just a certain extent that like when your brain is going or your head's going so fast and it just abruptly stops, it doesn't really matter how much padding's there. It's just the sudden stop, things rattling around inside. Concussions are always going to be a part, no matter how good the protective technology gets.
I mean, my personal belief is I agree with that last part. I think helmets are way better, and they'll probably get better still. I mean, I'm sure they'll find new ways to make them. I have a hard time believing we're going to ever get rid of concussions unless you completely change the game, which I don't think any of us wants to see. I know I don't.
No. I would do everything I did again.
Yeah, I would too.
I had 3 concussions.
And that was going to be my follow-up question to you. Is like, you have seen everything from an athletic perspective, all injuries. Would any of it, especially like the head stuff, would any of it stop you from letting someone you love play the game or any games?
I mean, my son's sitting over here. He came up this morning, and he plays football. He's played football. I would let him continue to play football. I'd let him play at the next level. Yeah. The changes we're making are helping the game. And look, I always take the approach of, I look at what football has done for me, and I look at what it's done for other people I know, two of whom sitting right next to me here. Look, I wouldn't be where I was today. I'm a doctor, yes, and I'd like to think, I worked hard to work on my scholastics for that, but I also learned a lot of that hard work. Yeah. And look, ask a lot of other people I work with, I work harder than most of my peers because I learned that early on, and it was reinforced over and over and over. And I think that's a big part of it. Mm-hmm. And I think I've seen guys that had a way worse upbringing than I did. I was very fortunate. And the one thing that saved them was sports, and a lot of times football, having that in their life. And I think there's just so many positives that, there are risks. It's a violent sport. But look, life ain't easy either. So
yeah, true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know we're going long with you, so we do appreciate it as always. You said something that I started thinking about. Everybody wants to know the why, like when they come into your office, and that makes sense. It's like, I got a torn labrum. Like, now what does it mean? How long am I out? You got to tell them the why, or I've got this and that. Is there an injury still out there today that's hard to define the why, or like what's going to happen? Because for a long time it was ACLs, like 35 years ago. Like used to in the 80s, if you had an ACL, like career ending. And now Patrick Mahomes has one in December and he's back on the field in May, right? So like that's completely changed. Is there still something out there, Doc, that you're like, hey, I'd buckle up because it's a windy path?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of those. I mean, the funny thing is you mentioned one just a moment ago, a labral tear. You have a labrum in your two ball and socket joints, the hip and the shoulder, and a lot of people have torn labrums. I know I'm one of them. I have
one right now. I never got it fixed.
And I may have more than I know about. And a lot of times we don't fix those, and a lot of times we do. And we've learned that maybe sometimes we fix too many of them. And so I think, torn labrums are a lot of them, even still with the ACL, because everybody sees Patrick Mahomes and that's what they want their recovery to be. But what if you had a little cartilage injury with it? That's a different injury still.
Because Malik Neighbors right now,
the meniscus.
He's going through it right now, and he had to go back in and get scar tissue removed, which I had never heard of that. Yeah. So like that's the same ACL injury. Everyone's different, but same one. And he had it way before Patrick Mahomes. And they don't know if he's going to be ready for the season. Yeah,
I guess I kind of said one of the I mentioned labor. Honestly, things with cartilage, I guess, is one that's really tough for us to know what to do with. If you have an ACL, because that's a lot of times what makes the difference between a guy that goes on and plays a long career after and doesn't. If they had an associated secondary injury, and especially if there's cartilage stuff involved, those are tough. So I guess if there's one that I'm going to probably, because people come out of us all the time, Johnny, they have a little cartilage wear behind their kneecap, and it's just killing them. And they're like, "What do I do for this?" I'm like, "I don't know." It's like I'm trying everything I got. We're throwing all the stuff, and so that may be the one if I have one right now that we see a lot.
Doc, quick question for you. LSU's crushing it in the recruiting trail right now with high school kids. They just signed a couple of 6'7" dudes. When they come in, you got to examine them. Do you have to get a step stool?
There have been a few.
Hey, real tall.
We've got some.
How's the air up there?
Oh man, and it's especially some of these basketball guys. They come walking in, ducking through the door, and if I'm trying to examine their shoulders, I'm kind of up here. So it's like, Brody,
no, this is a medical doctor stool, guys. This is not a step stool.
Yes.
That's right.
Medical devices.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Guy's 6'1" and some change. He thinks he's a skyscraper over there.
6'2" and 1/4, bud.
Yeah, we looked that up already. Doc, you're the man. We truly do appreciate you coming every single week. A lot of great information there, stuff I certainly didn't know beforehand, so we appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Doc.
All right, we'll step away. We've got more OTB coming right back your way, of course, live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com, trashrangers.com, residential, commercial trash pickup service. Now, for residential, call them, see if you're in their area. For commercial, we're talking to you no matter where you're listening to us in the greater Baton Rouge area, right? You see the red dumpsters all over the place. Speaking of dumpsters, they've got roll-off dumpsters, 3 different sizes to choose from. Right, you let them know what your project is. They make sure you have the right size on your project. Sanitation department, that's new. Ooh. If you have a job site or if you're hosting a bunch of people and you need a portable restroom, they've got that now as well. You got a little bit of everything.
Talking about the turlets?
Turlets, they got them. Trashrangers.com.
Trash Rangers. Trashrangers.com. The most reliable trash pickup service in Louisiana, most reliable sanitation department in Louisiana. We're talking about, just like Jake said, the portable toilets. If you have a construction company, if you got a construction job outside, make sure you're calling them and not those big national companies, and also construction projects. Roll-off dumpsters, 3 sizes to choose from, flat rate pricing right there. Trashrangers.com.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
We don't even know what we argue about. Don't even say I love you no more. Saying how we feel is no longer allowed. Some people work things out and some just don't know how to change. Let's go wait till the water's dry.
I mean, arguably, sometimes we speak out of turn. Top 5 album of all time.
Oh yeah, I would say
I
two.
mean, you could just push play, let that bad boy rip, and you ain't skipping. You ain't got to skip.
Once it gets to the end,
We don't need
run
to
it back.
talk anymore.
Now, when you say 5, do you mean top 5 and not 5?
Yes.
That's a good question.
We don't even
Good follow-up
know
question,
what
Taylor.
we are
Very nice.
arguing
So we went from the river still being wet to don't wait till
Right,
the
just
water
a little bit.
runs dry.
Yeah.
So they're Boyz II Men's saying don't let it get to be an arroyo.
True.
I mean, good R&B music, to me, like just catchy songs that I enjoy, but like the best R&B is like, this man went through a trial and a tribulation. He went through all
Yep.
of it. And you hear it.
Sometimes
in
they
every
come out
word
the
that
other
he
side.
sings. Yeah, sometimes
Sometimes
it's
they
a
don't.
good ending. Sometimes it's
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just sad. But you also feel sexy. Even if you're sad.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm feeling
yeah,
it.
like
It's
that.
not just me, right?
This is a banger.
No, you're right.
When you listen to R&B and look in the mirror, sometimes you just look a little better in the mirror than you really do.
It makes me want to do like be behind a mic and do like a slide out
Yeah.
and then just like snap as I sing the song.
With the eyes closed.
You got to close the eyes.
Yeah.
Boys, man, they all went to Juilliard.
Did they? Shout out Boyz II Men, man.
Cultured.
God, do they need to be on the Burnt CD tour as like a mix-up?
Oh, they got
Just
too
like a
much.
mix-up?
But they have too many hits.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
You can play them in the background
I
in
was
between
I
acts.
was being selfish. I was being
You were.
selfish. I was trying to get.
That's not the spirit
That's
of
true.
the Burnt
It's
CD
true.
tour.
God, I was just trying to get.
We
them.
could do Jordan Sparks. Like
Little
if you
no
want to
air?
add a little R&B, Jordan Sparks.
See, but the thing is, my favorite Jordan Sparks song is with Chris Brown. Chris Brown's too big to be at the Burnt CD tour.
But we can do like a track.
Somebody
or
else
something.
maybe could
Somebody
sing
else,
the
Or she
Chris
could
Brown.
solo
track.
it. She could solo
No, but
it.
see,
I will say
that's a
that-
duo song.
Like, to us, Boyz II Men deserves their own tour.
Yeah, that's fair. It's
To
fair.
us.
I was selfish.
Now,
I know.
I think
sorry.
in the court of public opinion for a lot of people, especially the youths these days, I don't know if they know them like we do. Certainly, I go to the Derby. I didn't go this past year, but I've been a lot with my crew of Packers.
Yeah.
And around us, a lot of D-list celebrities. A lot of D-listers. There's no A's.
There's no C list. Straight to D.
I mean, there's a lot of D. We're talking about the Grobes, Josh Groban, Guy Fieri. Like, we're talking about these guys, like you know them.
Groban.
Is that the guy? You raised me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it is.
dead.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
wow.
Hey,
Now,
Blake,
that's a
you
fair
can see
placement,
him-
though.
You can see him in Duluth, Georgia for $49.
every
See, there you go.
every now and then you'll get like some good ones, but mostly like the good ones are athletes. We Kid Rock next to us one time, but every year there's a couple members of Boyz II Men there, and so
Do you kind of fangirl
I'm
a
like,
little bit?
First year, yeah. Second
Yeah.
year, it's just like, hey, what's up, dude? Who you
What
betting
up,
on?
bro?
Who you betting on? Like,
Yeah.
what we put money on right now?
Yeah. You hit him with the big dog?
Yeah, what's up, big dog?
I had
So-
to look them up. I couldn't name a person from... Like, I know Boyz II Men and I know the
That's-
songs, but
you
I
know
couldn't
what-
name any of the members.
And that's fair. And
Yeah.
that's fair. And I think that's a good thing.
Because they're just Boyz II Men.
And they just care about the band.
yeah.
The whole
None
is
of
bigger
them-
than the sum of
Well,
its parts,
that's what I'm
guys.
saying. Like, none of them that I
Teamwork
looked
works.
up, I know them separately from Boyz II Men.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have, like, a separate career outside of it.
Like, I know two of their names, but I don't know all four.
Name two of them?
You know any of their names?
Are they brothers?
Because
Because two of them have the same last name. Okay.
I think, or cousins or something. Because there's two Morrises.
I can't
Yeah.
even picture the third one.
I know
picture two of them.
Sean's going to be the skinny, taller fella.
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
so he's a
I don't
derby
know-
goer.
I don't,
He's a
I
horse
don't-
guy.
I don't know all four of them though. To be
There's 3.
well, there's
Oh, there's
four, but
2
one of
past
them,
members.
the deep voice one,
Uh-huh.
doesn't travel with the band anymore. Like nothing bad happened.
Mike Bass.
He
Wait,
just
there was
kinda-
4
he just-
originally?
He just retired. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I thought it was always 3.
No.
Um,
You're forgetting about deep voice guy. Baby, you know I love you.
Yeah, but
What I
like,
said, I didn't mean.
I'm thinking about music videos, and I just remember
Previously,
3.
Boyz II Men was a quartet, including bass singer Michael
The
McCary.
bass singer is no longer traveling.
I'm
with
not
the
trying
band.
to
Hasn't for a
question
long
your
time.
Boyzman knowledge. I'm thinking about like the
'Cause,
old
they
music
kinda,
videos.
Like I'm not saying they meant to, but they kind of would be like, "Hey, here's the 3 guys that can really sing, and then bass is back there. He's in the corner. He's gonna talk to you for a little bit. He's gonna tell you about how sorry he is, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna really see him.
He's behind stage with the microphone.
Yeah.
You look good.
You know, baby, when I said what I said, you know I didn't mean that. He was that guy.
He left the group in 03 due to health issues, it says.
He did. He did have a cane, because he actually performed with them like a year ago, and he did have a cane.
Damn, poor guy.
I
So
gotta
he must
say,
have had something for a long time. Apparently,
having that deep voice though, doing that with a cane, kind of makes it better.
He has back spasms and was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. That explains the cane.
yeah.
That sucks.
All right. Dang it. But I bet he still has that sexy voice, though.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, there's no.
There you go.
Can you imagine? So now everybody shoots a text over or a DM. But can you imagine
send a voice
when you
memos.
had to call and the voicemail that man got to leave?
Yep.
He has to be a voice texter.
Can you
If he's
imagine?
not, he's missing the mark.
Can you imagine, like in high school, he was calling to talk to your daughter?
Oh my God.
Hey, Jessica.
Hey,
can I talk to
I'm going to need to talk to Aaliyah. Is she in?
Dad's like, oh hell no!
How old are you?
Hell no.
I'm 12 years old.
I'm 12.
Guy, great voice.
Are
Can you imagine
sure?
if that was your Siri? Like he was giving you directions?
Probably can. I bet you
I'd
could
be
get.
intimidated. I'd be
Turn
like,
left,
hey,
baby.
man, I don't sound that
I bet
good.
you can get. You know how you can like download different voices on Waze.
Yeah.
You can do accents and
Yeah,
stuff.
I like the.
Turn left
I
here.
like the boy band one.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
Accident up ahead. Head on the right.
Mbop.
Bop.
God, this
Known
guy.
soccer player.
Good soccer player.
France,
Mbop.
yeah.
Scored a bunch of goals yesterday.
Oh, I was you were
Speaking of,
you weren't in here. Real quick.
Yeah.
I was telling them that I was at Superior last night and the soccer game was on the TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, go Mexico." Nobody corrected me. I was like, "Hell yeah, Mexico's playing Argentina." It was Algeria.
Yeah, it was Algeria.
They have incredibly similar uniforms.
They do in colors and
Yeah.
everything. The
Yeah.
flag even has a lot of the same
Yeah.
feel to it.
But I
I'll
see. I was
allow it.
trying to. Yeah, I was trying. I was watching it.
I'll allow it. You were
Yeah.
watching.
They didn't play
I was
like
watching
Mexico.
too. Messi scored a hat trick.
dude, at
And
38.
At 38, his 6th World Cup.
That's crazy.
Nobody's ever done it before. And
One of a
everybody's like, oh,
kind.
he's in the MLS. He's washed. He just scored a hat trick in the World Cup.
Right.
And his first, actually, he scored 4. One got called back for offsides.
He scored 4.
He scored 4, 3 counted because he was offsides on one.
He was
of them.
cherry
Can't do
picking.
that.
His
Can't cherry
first
pick.
one.
Can't do it.
Oh my
It's
god.
one of the 3 rules.
It's illegal. Yeah.
Cherry picking.
Yeah.
Come on,
Can't do
Messi.
it. Can't do it.
Wash.
Dirty,
Can't touch it with
rotten
your hand.
cherry
And what's
picker.
the third one?
That guy.
The third one. I can't touch it with your hands. Cherry picking
Here's the third one.
and.
Don't be an ass.
Don't be
Oh, okay.
That's the third one.
Didn't you
That
find
one's
the,
all big. That
That's like
covers
an
a lot of
unspoken-
things.
It does. It
That
covers,
covers
a lot,
a lot.
but that's the 3 rules of soccer.
Yeah.
Didn't you find that cool Messi fact though before the show?
Yeah, I was doing some research. Let me look.
If this
see
is
what
gonna
I.
piss me off, please don't say it.
No,
No,
this
it's
is
not.
Going. He scored a hat trick 20 years to the day of his first World Cup game.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. I researched that. I went to TaylorSharp.com. Researched it.
I heard that website's a little scandalous. Be
It
careful
is
about
I know. I think you should be
age
careful there.
restricted. You have to present. You have
There-
to proof of ID,
Yeah.
proof of age verification.
Might
for that
want to
one.
use a VPN.
Hate that.
Just, I mean,
Hate that.
Don't love that.
Don't love anything about that.
I am putting my
Too much
ID
boys to
in.
men.
Yeah, don't love that at all. All right. God, Boyz II Men. Shout out.
Shout out to him.
Can we play
Top
some
5
more?
album. Oh yeah, buddy. Can we play some
I like
more?
Motown.
It's my horse
Philly.
raids and buds.
Motown Philly back. Yeah, we're gonna play them all. We'll play them all. It's okay. We'll play them all. We'll play the
Yeah,
hits.
you get it.
All right, we'll be back.
do.
More OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. But before we take that break, I do want to remind you about our friends over at Ochsner. Whether you're an athlete, weekend warrior, or just trying to stay active, Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute is here to help you keep moving. Remember, it's located right there next to Elite Training Academy on Burbank in Baton Rouge. It is a full orthopedic clinic. Walk-ins are certainly welcome. No appointment is needed. They have on-site x-rays. The team can treat sprains, strains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, including ACL tears. So if you have an injury, and again, you don't have to be an athlete, but if you certainly are an athlete, if you are a weekend warrior, whatever it might be, and you have that injury, no, you can walk in at the clinic right there on Burbank. You can find more information at ochsner.org/brortho. That's ochsner.org/brortho. More OTB when we come back.
Off the bench.
Yo, Tim and Bob, do me a favor, baby. Turn up them drums a little bit. Yeah. Now we bouncing. I like that.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Long overdue, but now Philly slamming. Boys to men, ABC, the East Coast family, never skip the beat. Nah, while cooling on South Street, jet black Benz, plenty of friends, and all the Philly steaks you can eat.
Yeah, baby.
I don't remember that line.
Welcome back in OTB. Now, this one wasn't. This was on another album, but the two that we were talking about, it had "I'll Make Love to You," "On Bended Knee," "Water Runs Dry," and "Yesterday," all the same album.
My God.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Shut
It's
up,
unfair.
listen, man.
Save some for the rest
Save
of us.
some for the rest of us, guys. Tay-Tay, we get back to sports. I know you've put this in the document a couple of times, and I know it's something that you wanted to hit. That's good. Always know when Tay-Tay wants to hit something. Trey'Dez Green and his relationship with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, he did a football camp over the weekend, like just a kids camp, and actually, our guy Jacques Doucet over at WFB was the one that interviewed him, and
fella.
he asked him about his relationship with Lane Kiffin, and I mean, Green was pretty open about it. He said he's a great coach, a great leader for our team. He's exactly what we've been missing here. We were just ready to play for our coach. He gives 110%, and we know we're going to do the same for him. Now, that tells me two things. One, this team really likes Lane Kiffin, and two, they really did not like Brian Kelly. I mean, he said he's a great leader. It's exactly what we've been missing here, being ready to play for our coach. Like, to me, that says a lot more about Brian Kelly than it does Lane Kiffin.
Do we think that Trey'Dez Green is about to have a Mackey Award-winning type season?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Yes. And if he doesn't, it's Lane Kiffin's fault.
Has Lane
Why are
Kiffin
y'all laughing? I've
ever
said it
had-
1,000 times. He's going to be the most dominant offensive player in the country if he's utilized correctly.
All right.
Outside quarterback.
I agree with that.
of course.
He should be.
Oh, yeah.
He should be. There were. No, I don't want. At some point, I'll stop talking about how bad last year's schematics were. At some point, I will, because I don't want to talk about it. It makes me get in a bad mood. It's dumb.
Come on, let's do it.
It's dumb. Like, I'll pull up the passing chart and just rage. I hate you, computer. I get like Musso when I see the passing chart from last year.
You still pull
You're
it up?
stupid. You got to throw the ball more than 5 yards. Between the hashes is not illegal. Big dummy.
My question is why?
Yeah.
No, like,
Tell me
but
why.
really though, like, why was it?
Tell me why.
Can you tell me why? Like, no,
That's what I
Why?
want.
I genuinely just don't get why it was so
I
bad.
don't either.
what was the reasoning behind I'm gonna make this the scheme and this is what it's gonna
Because
be?
it was the same people the year before and it
Right.
was better.
I have
Yeah.
a theory. Total guess on my part. Because, again, Joe Sloan was there.
I can't wait to hear
And-
that.
I know.
This is literally just a guess on my part. I mean, Sloan was there in 24. Nelsmeyer threw for 4,000 yards. You didn't see that same scheme. Just my opinion, maybe they were terrified of this offensive line and said, I want to get it as far away from this group as quickly as I possibly can.
That's fine, but the quickest way to the end zone's the middle of the football field.
And I get it.
So,
That's a good recipe for success. Playing, scared.
I can't think of another reason. Because, like, to Jake's point, like, the skill position was the exact same.
I think they
Pretty much.
overreacted to Nussmeier's injury. I think that's what it was. I think they overreacted to the injury or the whatever it was, and they tried. And potentially, to Taylor's point, they might have been a little bit nervous and said this. Clearly, they said something on the offensive line was a weak spot because they didn't run power. Clearly, they said this. We can't do
said
this.
They couldn't.
They said we couldn't.
I mean, I had a coach from his lips to my ear said we couldn't run it. I'm like, you couldn't run it.
No, that's a stupid comment.
What? Oh, I balled my fist up. Like,
Yeah, you can.
Arthur?
You can't.
Arthur
Okay,
fist.
I will say this: it's hard when you only practice for an hour and 15 minutes in training camp. It is hard to get better at things you're not already good at.
He almost made me curse. Like one we can't say.
Oh well,
And
we
got Luke
don't
in
practice
here. I don't
long
wanna be
enough to
embarrassed in
get
front of our
better
company.
at things we're not good at.
Golly. The defense had to walk through run fits before Clemson because they didn't get a look in practice. Before you played a top 10 game, now Clemson didn't end up being any good. The defense had to walk through how to fit their runs because the look wasn't given in training camp. Training camp is supposed to be hard. Training camp is supposed to suck.
Yep.
Training camp is supposed to callous you for the rest of the year. And we went to a practice and we got our son set up with some water and a fruit snack. And when we did that, the practice was over. We didn't have time to get him set up to sit down to watch practice. And every person that knew us came up to us after practice. It was probably 4 or 5 people and knew that we were about to say something about how short that practice was.
Yep.
And like apologize for how short that practice
Yeah,
was.
Kyle Williams walked up to us. We looked at him, and before he even got to us, he's like, "Don't even ask."
That's
I
what
like
it
how-
was. Like he knew we were going to say something.
Yeah, I like how when Brian Kelly was here, it was just kind of like whatever, right? We were all giving Brian Kelly a chance.
Look at his resume.
There's the stuff
Yeah.
about the wins, but like 0 national championships.
Yep.
We were giving him a chance. There's the stuff about the accent, whatever. Who cares, right? But now it's so funny that after he's gone, everyone's like, "Man, f that guy."
It wasn't
all
great.
this stuff is coming out like,
Great.
meh.
Because we want him to be like, I wish he was
Yes,
successful.
no,
Like,
absolutely.
I wish that hour and 15 minutes, I wish he knew something that everybody else doesn't, and it worked, but it didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
and to that point, the player who's saying it to me, this speaks volumes. Like, Trey'Dez is not a guy that mouths off in media appearances. Like, you go to player interviews, he's nice, he's a little quiet, he never really says anything controversial. For Trey'Dez Green to say something like this, every damn player in that locker room feels the exact same way, and maybe
No
even worse.
doubt.
It's
Man,
funny.
you go over there now, and look, I'm not saying they didn't like the coaches because I don't think it was
Like
that
that.
kind of
It's not about
situation.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like-
That's not why they were a bad football team.
Joe and
Right.
all the coaches, they're great. They're
Like Garrett loves Joe.
yeah.
they're
And
all
he'll tell you
great
to
people.
this day. The team captains from last year, they had like no issues with the coach. It's
Right.
not that I've been a part of that. That sucks.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was bad coaching. It was
Yeah.
a bad coaching job last year. So it's not that. But I'll say that to say this. When you go over there now, ain't nothing but smiles.
Right.
And ain't nothing but vibes. It ain't nothing but we are so ready. We're having a good time. And they work. That's another maybe a misconception of a high tempo offense team. I'm not just really talking about Lane. I'm talking about any high tempo is they don't really work.
No,
You go over there, you have to spot the ball in
Yeah.
a certain amount of time or you got to run.
well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you
Like,
probably
it's-
have to work more to play
Yeah.
in a high tempo offense because you have to like keep that cardio up and just always be moving.
If
so.
you catch it outside the hash, you gotta find a referee. If you catch it inside the hash, you gotta place it and get set.
Yeah.
It is. Now I've only been to a couple, but it is impressive.
You had
They
Witt,
are working.
had Witt throwing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Which kind of like Billy Bob and Varsity Blues, Whit threw up because, Whit likes to throw up.
That's what he does.
But it's, I'll tell you what, it's a different vibe.
Yeah.
And again, there was success. Like you go back 2 years ago, and I think it was done a different way. For whatever reason, and we'll never truly know, just wasn't enough. It was not enough. It was not enough a year ago. You cannot not have 9-on-7 inside run, the drill and the period that makes your football team on both sides of the football, and you don't do it, can't happen. It cannot happen. And then when you get to live bullets, you're so vanilla in your run game. There's no diversity to it, and you wonder why. You got to practice it to be great. And we used to practice every run. Every run.
I mean, it was bad enough to where they paid $50 million to stop it, right? Like, and the mind blowing thing, like we talked about year over year, like before it wasn't as bad, but this year, for whatever reason, those coaches sat there in an offensive meeting room every single week, seemingly, right before they got home for dinner, I'm sure, and they said, "Yep, this is what we're going to do." And like as a collective group, they created a game plan that was not real football. And it got so bad that they paid $50 million plus a lot more to make a change because it got that bad.
Yeah.
And nobody can say it was good. Nobody can, like, even them, their coaches, I'm sure they're like, yeah, that was bad. We made a mistake, blah, blah, blah.
I think,
and there's probably reasons why.
Yeah.
And I think
they would tell you that.
And they would tell you.
They're being honest with themselves. And real quick, I know we got a break. You now have an athletic director in Verge Osbury that has been callous on that same practice field.
Yeah.
He went through true two-a-days on that same practice field. Like, when that guy goes out to practice, he knows what he's looking for.
Yeah, let me tell you, those calluses from those days, those are more like scars.
So
they stick with you.
From the top to the bottom, you got people that know what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, and that should be exciting to you as an LSU fan. All right, we'll step away. We've got more OTB coming your way. But, again, we got to tell you about our friends, Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. We love them.
What up, Tommy?
Go Tommy's, G-E-A-U-X, Tommy's with a Y. When you go to GoTommys.com, you'll clearly see the difference. Duh. That's why they win the award every single year, Angie Super Service Award. That's why they win the Best Windows in the Advocate this year. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GoTommys.com. We love you. We'll be back. More OTB.
Off the bench.
Girl, you know we belong together. I don't have no time for you to be playing with my heart like this.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
We belong together. And you know that I'm right. Why do you play with my heart? Why do you play with my mind? Said we'd be forever.
You're right. It was foolish of me to think they were going to make it to the Burnt CD tour, y'all.
Yeah.
I was being selfish. I apologize to Boyz II Men.
Silly guy.
I'm sorry.
Way too many hits.
No, this is not Horny Wednesday. This is R&B Wednesday.
Yeah,
Come on,
relax
Mitchell.
out
You've been
there. What are we
you've
doing?
been in the
What are we
game long
doing?
enough. You know.
You're in here every day, Mitchell.
Every day, bud. It's R&B Wednesday. We've been doing this for like a year, at
Yeah.
least.
At least. Probably longer than that.
But it does get the juices flowing, though.
Hold on,
all
just
right?
real quick. Just turn it up just a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, this is. Got chills. Got actual chills. Yes. OTB road trip. Where's Boyz II Men playing next?
Okay.
Are they coming to Biloxi?
They gotta be at
They
the
gotta
Beau
be.
Rivage. Gotta be at the Beau Rivage.
And if they are, by God, Gordy Rush, you know everybody at Beau
Yeah.
Rivage. Get us hooked up.
Is
Road trip.
St. Kitts somewhere close?
No, that's a different
That's
country.
That's an island.
They're going to be in Cincinnati.
I really want to go.
all right.
Y'all, we can go to Niagara Falls.
Harambe?
Yeah, rest in peace, Harambe.
R.I.P.
We can go to Niagara
Okay.
Falls.
The American side or the Canadian side?
The American side's in New York.
Ooh, it's not great. Canadian side's better.
Oh. You like Canada
Like
over the
Canada
USA?
over USA.
Just
Oh
that
my
is
gosh.
unpatriotic.
We've got a new Taylor Sharp, and his name's
Wow.
Matt
Ask anybody.
Flynn.
Ask
Traitor.
anybody.
Off the bench.
Oh my gosh, that just changed the math.
I just took the
That's
heat off
not
of
news,
Taylor.
guys.
Oh
It's not
man,
breaking news.
Taylor's not the biggest hater here in studio. It's Matthew Clayton Flynn. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com today. 13 locations across Louisiana, also one in Mississippi, and can't tell you how easy it is. Because I'm sure that you're like, I don't want to go get my labs drawn. It's going to take time, and I got to sit there and have it. It's 5 minutes. It is a 5-minute process, and then you go back for your consultation, maybe a 10-minute process. We're talking 15 total minutes to change your life and change the way you feel. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com today.
Sorry, Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com. Go check them out. If you want to feel better, look better, maybe lose a little bit of weight, all the good stuff. Hormone replacement therapy. It's about testosterone replacement. If you are low testosterone, go get that blood work. See what they can do for you. It's not about being high test, bro. It's about being normal for your age. Get feeling better right over there, RejuveMeMedical.com.